Welcome to the show. This is No Interference, and we are your host, Westside, Big Sass, and the Bull. We are in the early stages of the NBA Finals, barring a sweep, which may be on its way. But let's just get right into it. Tip-off Game 1 last night. Nuggets came out on top 104-93. It wasn't even that close if you watched the whole game. But what were your takeaways?
Sass, let you go first.
5 game series, maybe.
Gentlemen sweep.
Pretty much what everyone thought going into the series. I think the first game backed it up. Now the Miami Heat have proven people wrong. You know, they lost the first play-in game to Atlanta. Then they barely won the second play-in game. Then they upset the Milwaukee Bucks. Had a good series against the New York Knicks, but never really felt like the Knicks had a chance. And then they upset the Celtics, unfortunately, in 7 games. Then on the other side, the Nuggets pretty much steamrolled through the first 3 rounds, finishing off the Lakers in 4 games. The Nuggets just look like an engine that can't be stopped right now. Jokic is, he had the quietest triple double you could have last night, but that's maybe not the right way to word it. It was an impactful triple double, of course, but I think by the fourth quarter he had only taken 6 shots, and they were still dominating up till that point.
He had 10 assists in the first half, and the fourth quarter when he needed to. Didn't he put up 12 in the fourth quarter?
12 in the fourth quarter.
12 points in the fourth quarter to basically just put the game away.
The Heat kind of sold out in the fourth quarter to not let the Nuggets do what they typically do, but Jokic just scored 12 points.
Yeah, I'll say I've always been a Jokic fan. He's just this beautiful blend of old school, new school. And I think he's been slandered. He won back-to-back MVPs, and I think people were giving
Should have been 3.
Well, I think people were giving him that Steve Nash kind of shade where they're like, oh, like a bunch of people said that it was the bias of white voters. But I think this playoff run, like a lot of people will go, oh, I didn't realize Jokic was that good. And I'm like, you've never seen a primetime Nuggets game?
I'll admit that I haven't watched a ton of Nuggets games over the years, but if you're an NBA fan, you should know that Jokic is good. He has 2 MVPs.
Yeah, casual fans should know that.
Yeah.
They may not know he's just as good of a passer as he is a scorer, but they should know who he is at this point.
Yeah, he might be a better passer than he is anything else.
Exactly.
He's always feeding the cutters and guys moving. Oh my god.
Yeah. All I gotta say is that if Jimmy Butler does not become playoff Hemi, then they stand no chance. Because I give Bam some credit. He was their leading scorer, and Bam was going to have to step up playing, against Jokic, which is the hardest matchup he's probably had all playoffs. But Jimmy got 13 points in 38 minutes, and it's not going to cut it. Plain and simple.
Well, yeah, it seemed like everything was hard for Miami. Bam Adebayo, whatever. He had 20. What?
It's a Bam Margera.
Oh yeah. He had 26 points. He had 26 points, 5 assists, 13 rebounds. 13 of 25 from the field. But it was like 10 to 12 foot like shots, like whatever you want to call them, half floaters, half shots. I don't know what you would call that shot. So it's not like
get to the rim.
Yeah, that's a shot he takes, but that's not going to win you a game against a high-powered offense like the Nuggets. Especially when the rest of Miami Well, that's the other thing that annoys me is that Miami, like, they couldn't hit shots.
Duncan Robinson
Caleb
had 3
Martin,
points.
yeah, Caleb Martin only hit 1 field goal. I guess he wasted all of his juice on the Celtics.
Mhm.
Struce was 0 for 10. You
There's
just
no
said
way
Duncan
you could have
Robinson.
thought Caleb Martin was going to carry you through, through the finals. It was a great,
It- yeah,
final game 7, but it
I'll
is what it
forever
is.
hate him and probably his twin brother. Like, he's just tarnished.
Yeah.
Just
Well, they
the
had a
look.
chance. I know everybody gives J. Cole credit for getting them a spot in Miami, but they were when they were coming out, they were highly touted recruits. It's not like he wasn't known
Yeah,
about
they
at
were good in
all.
college.
Both brothers were known about it. Yeah. There's only been a few sets of twins that come out like that.
Yeah. It is weird how many twins there are that have
It
been
was
successful in the
not
NBA.
Anderson. I can't remember what it was. Two
Well,
twins
You got
back
the
there.
Lopez brothers.
It was like
You
right
got
after
the Morris
yeah.
brothers. You
Mhm.
got now the
Seems
Caleb
there's a
Martin
set every
and
5 years.
whatever.
What about those twins that went to Duke? They weren't that good, but they both.
That's what I was trying
make
to
it
talk
the
about.
NBA.
It's like Henderson or Anderson's. Like I can't remember
Something like that.
They were good
Yeah.
in 2K.
Yeah,
When I
because
when,
they were like
did
what
we
a
use
couple
them?
years after Wiggins. I think it was like they were coming up like
They
around
may
the
have
same
been
time.
before Wiggins.
I thought it was around the same time or after. Harrington,
One of
Andrew
the-
Harrington was it Harrington twins?
Aaron
Andrew and Aaron, yeah, something like that. Harris.
Harrison.
I thought Harrison was one of the things I said originally.
Harrison.
Harrison.
Andrew
yeah,
and
Harrison.
Aaron Harrison.
Yep.
Where are they now?
Nice
Yeah,
little
they both
segment.
play for Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
That's Kentucky, not Duke.
Andrew Harrison was recently signed by the
Ooh.
Windy City Bulls in the G League.
That's not bad. G League can
That
get you
was
into the NBA.
well. That was a year and a half ago. So,
not so recently.
And he played 4 games for them, averaging 3.3 points and 2 assists. So,
oops.
Aaron Harrison was playing overseas, and as of a year and a half ago, he was playing for Turkey's BSL league.
So
he in 7 games averaged 16 points and 2.1 rebounds. So there you go.
Listen,
overseas, there's options.
Yeah, chase the dream.
Mm-hmm. See Dwight Howard over there. I actually just read an article about his fall from grace because he was probably the top 3 player for 3 years in a row. And then just the back injury and then the trade debacle, the awkward interview was it Van Gundy?
I think Dwight Howard definitely gets disrespected. Like I feel like people
they forget how good he was when he was good. Yeah, those 3. He won. I mean, he was MVP one year, right? And then he went to the playoffs 2 years in a row. Went to the finals
MVP.
once.
He won defensive MVP.
I thought he got MVP once.
He was probably finishing consistently
top 3 though.
5 MVP.
Yeah.
But he was.
I mean, his career averages are 15.7, almost 12 rebounds, and his probably over 2 blocks.
Yeah, but that 3-year run with the Magic, I think he was averaging like 28 points a game.
I mean, more than that. I mean, he had like a 8-year span on the Magic where he was good. He wasn't bad on the Rockets for the first year.
Just the back injury, Nate felt, and then it wasn't very cohesive with James Harden either, was it?
Well, listen, like Taylor said, he was slightly underrated because from 2004 and 5 to 2018, when he was playing for Charlotte, he averaged at least over 10.5 rebounds and most of the time over 12 rebounds. And that's for like 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
His scoring dipped a few times after, like in Houston, he scored 18, but then it was like 15, 13, 13, 16. But still getting 12 boards a game and blocking a shot and a half into your 30s is pretty impressive. And then, like you were saying, in his prime for like those 5-6 years in Orlando, almost 3 blocks a game, 15 rebounds, 22 point score. So, yeah, I mean, I remember him in the Celtics. I mean, we played him in the playoffs multiple times, and they were a good team.
It's like,
I mean, they made it to the finals literally off of his back and then 3-point shooting.
Considering the fact that he had absolutely no jump shot, and he's a 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, won a championship in 2020.
Finally got his rank.
I don't know how we got on the Dwight Howard talk, but
overseas.
It was overseas. But so it was cool though because they changed their whole offense. He literally was a single defender. Like, he was the only main defender. He would slide all over, and they would focus on shooting threes and getting him the ball in the paint or him getting rebounds. They led the league in 3-point percentage that year.
Me and Trevor were talking like a couple weeks ago, saying that like 2008 Magic team, if they played today, they would be like 2009. They would be like the prototype NBA team with Hito and
Rashad Lewis,
Jameer
Nelson.
Yeah,
JJ Redick was on that team eventually.
JJ Redick,
Turgaloo, remember Turgaloo?
And even Michael Petrus was on that team, I think.
Yeah. So I remember it was Dwight's rookie year. They showed the highlight too in the article. It was like his come to I'm a star moment. It was like 3 seconds left or 0.6 seconds left on the clock, and they were throwing it in down. It was tied, and they threw an alley oop to Dwight, and he jumped over Tim Duncan, one-handed, just slammed it, and then they only had 0.3 seconds left. They tried to do the same thing, the Spurs, and it failed miserably. That was like his welcome to the NBA, like I'm a star moment, and I was like, holy shit, I ain't seen that highlight.
He was a beast.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Also, all the memes, the Steve Van Gundy as his sleeves got higher and higher throughout the game.
Was it Steve? Days. Isn't there a Jeff too, right?
Jeff Van Gundy.
It was Jeff.
I thought Steve was the Magic coach.
No, it was Jeff.
Wait, now I'm confused.
Jeff coached the Rockets.
Same guy.
Steve Van Gundy was the Magic coach.
Yeah, Steve was the
so they're brothers though, right?
Jeff Van Gundy, yes.
Jeff coached McGrady with the Rockets and Yao Ming.
Yeah, and the Knicks.
So it was
and
Steve, cool.
Did you guys know that Steve Van Gundy? I wasn't aware of this because it was a little bit before I started watching the NBA religiously.
Stan Van Gundy. It's not Steve.
Oh, Stan.
Whoops. Oh yeah. No wonder. I was Googling and I was like, Steve Van Gundy.
It just didn't sound right still. I kept saying, I was like, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Oh, man. Stan Van Gundy. That sounds so much better.
Yes, it really does.
Stan Van Gundy, he coached the Miami Heat when they were, let me see. Yeah, he was the head coach for the Miami Heat 03 through 05-06. In 05-06, the year they won the championship, he was 21-11, and then that's when Pat Riley was like, "Get out of here! I'm going to finish the season," and then he won the title as the head coach.
That's dude. I didn't realize Pat Riley was a player, coach, and then owner.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were 11-10 at the time, so they were underperforming. But the year before that, with
they were 22-11.
They were 59-23 the year before with him. So even 11-10 is early to cut ties with your coach. But Pat Riley was like, "He ain't messing this up for me."
Yeah, if they were 22-10 or whatever, 11, whatever you said originally, and he did that, I'm like, that's a bold move, man, because they have a great record right now. Well, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was 11-10, but
talk about throwing a wrench into something that's already working.
But anyways, I guess back to the current Heat and Nuggets. I'm sticking with my prediction when the Celtics were down 0-3. The Heat are going to lose in 4 or 5 games. And also, I'm sticking with my other prediction is that ratings are going to suck because that game last night was boring and the crowd, I love the Nuggets crowd, good for them for being in the first finals, but they weren't bringing the juice from when I was watching. Your first quarter of your first NBA finals, and they were barely on their feet.
I saw them screaming in the third, or in the end, the fourth quarter. I saw they would zoom in on some fans, and they were really hyped. But
I'm sure that if you zoom in on fans individually, but it just didn't feel like.
Actually, these are four. I get the
Celtics got blown out in Game 7. I get it, but the electricity in that arena before the game, even they were talking about it pregame, Steve's what's the guy on TNT? Smith? Steve Smith?
Kenny
What's
Smith?
his name?
Kenny
Smith. Yeah, God,
Kenny the
Steve
Jet?
is messing us up today.
Yeah, where's this
Yeah,
Steve
Kenny the
coming
Jet
from?
Smith. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking. I knew it wasn't Steve Smith, but yeah, Kenny was saying this is the first. He said he was like, I've been retired longer than I've been retired longer than I played, and he said this was the first time I wanted to go back and play. But that's what like you think for like a Nuggets crowd for their first NBA Finals ever, gotta bring the juice a little bit. But and that that makes the
It's because they're going for a walk in the
viewership-
park. It's too easy. You can't even get enjoyment out of it.
I don't know. I want to
If
see
Jamal
what
Murray
the
and
viewership
Joker keep it
ratings
up,
were.
there's no chance. If Jamal Murray sticks to his
Especially
form he's in, where he can shoot from
if-
anywhere,
if-
he can dribble around, find his spots. You got Jokic doing the same thing, fucking passing. Like it's just there's no way.
If Michael Porter starts knocking down some threes, then it's really game over.
Yeah, and then didn't want to talk about Michael Porter Jr. Like he's got a nice stroke. He really does. When that thing comes out, it's a nice, perfect. I think it has a perfect arc ratio to, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a blind drive. It's not too high. It's
just needs to go in.
yeah.
All right, this is according to Denver Sports, but it says the last time the Miami Heat played for a championship, it was the lowest watched NBA Finals series ever, which was the
Lakers.
bubble year. So that makes sense.
Heat.
So game 1, Denver and Miami did have low TV ratings. It drew a 2.21 rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic. In total, the series opener averaged 7.62 million viewers, down from 11.4 million viewers for game 1 of Boston against Golden State. See, Adam Silver, you screwed up. You should have forced the Celtics win. Yeah, across the board, the NBA has seen good TV ratings these NBA playoffs, which I kind of got the vibe from.
For sure, the games were great in the first few rounds. I mean, it was games on every day too. You can't beat that.
I do think one thing that hurts the NBA is like the last 3 years, how long they string out the playoffs. Like, I just feel like the NBA playoffs. I know
They've
it's
always gone into June.
Do they have to do every other
know.
day
I
though
just
for
feel
every
like-
game? I feel like you could do like 2 games in a row, then have a day in between, then do 2 games in a row. I mean, they played 2 games in a row throughout the season, all the time. Back to every day.
I just feel like the playoffs go on for so long.
It's the
They
same
do.
as
I mean, same with
it's ever
hockey
been.
though. Hockey and basketball are literally at the same point. They're both in the finals now. They're both, it's
Yeah,
the
the
same
NBA
time.
the NBA finals have been going on around my birthday since I've been an NBA fan.
That's actually
Well, you know
my
what?
favorite part about the NBA playoffs is how long it lasts. You get exciting basketball.
Sometimes you're wrong.
for
Sometimes
weeks.
you're right.
I think they're
Sometimes
starting
your opinion's
earlier,
shit.
though, and that's why.
I don't have to swear to shit.
The
What are you
reality of
saying?
this sucks camel dicks.
No, I was just saying. I was like, well, maybe the playoffs are starting earlier. That's why it seems like.
Maybe it's because the Rockets aren't in there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Maybe you're
speaking
a
of the
little
Rockets,
antsy.
so you got Jalen Green, you got Michael.
Now you're just going way so far off the
Kevin
rails.
Porter.
Kevin Porter Jr. Possibly James Harden return. Who? Do you guys have one more player?
Don't forget that
Sagan.
Maybe.
I have
Either way.
I had a great funny quote to say.
I don't know,
but I
but
can't
Jalen
say
Green
that on
and
the
King.
show.
My point was that these top 2 picks in the draft the year before turned to be some dumpster fire action going on in Detroit and Houston. There.
Houston's picks have been good,
They've been good. Just
and they traded for
I'm
they
waiting for
have
turnaround.
a couple years ago. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
they're so young.
That's what I'm saying. Well, so if they add James Harden now, we liking that? Or?
no.
I wouldn't want him if I was I don't think Ime Udoka would want him.
That was
not
it.
his
Ime
style of
Udoka. That's what it was.
player.
He's apparently going to be taking three players from the Celtics, 3 assistants. Apparently,
3 assistants. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Then all we need to do is trade.
Well, they
for
fired
Zion
him for
Williamson.
hooking up with somebody. I mean, it's kind of it is what it is. We talked about that when it happened.
Yeah.
Oh, this is America.
Yeah. I mean, Houston lost out on Wembanyama, so that sucks. But
Well, because
that's
we don't know the
another
lottery's
story for
rigged.
another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on Wemban. Yeah, whatever.
Wembanyama.
People just call him. Don't they just call him Wemby now? Like for a nickname, everybody calls him Wemby.
If you can't say Wembanyama and you're an idiot.
Wemby.
W.
Nope.
Just call him Victor.
Victor.
Even though he's like French.
I'm gonna call him too tall. Like everybody else is too tall.
He has an 8-foot wingspan. Like, how are you not going to be good?
He's 7'2". He can just shoot over your face, and everybody will stop him. He just jumps a little bit. Like nobody's blocking.
The hype for him is like exponentially like high, and it sucks because it's just gonna be hard for like they're gonna have to be like a playoff team.
How much does he weigh?
He's definitely
probably like 240.
I'd say like a buck 80, soaking wet.
209. No, he's not buck 80. His bones
I was
are
closer than your 240.
209 is 30 pounds. 180 is 30 pounds. We're both the same distance.
So he's 209.
Math is a really good thing.
So he's listed as 209, so he's probably really 195.
There we go. There it is.
That's just Taylor making up a number. You can't say that's valid.
Numbers.
Or just like, yep, there it is.
That's all I needed.
But, I mean, if you watch his highlights, it's ridiculous. Me and Taylor were talking about.
Do you think you could back him down, Trevor?
No, I can't back down people that are like one. Yeah, but his knee would go right in my back.
No, his knee would crumble under your weight.
I would have to back roll onto his shins and end his career.
Who's gonna get the rookie? Is there a rookie of the year?
Yeah.
So who's gonna get it? Him or Chet Holmgren when he comes back? It's gonna be the battle of the tall, lanky guys. He's only got 2 inches on him.
Wembanyama, like I was telling Taylor, he should, if they can get like a good like center, which they already have one. The Spurs have what's his name? Well, I'll talk while I'm looking. But if they can have a good like solid center who can focus on doing the dirty work and rebounding, and Wembanyama can play kind of a free safety roaming thing. I mean, he should be able to average like he has an 8-foot wingspan. Like he should be averaging 2 blocks a game at least tomorrow.
What's he gonna do when
he can average like
when he's in the paint and Zion Williamson comes barreling down the court full speed? Shatters everybody's body.
But like you try to shoot him, he literally can jump and block anything. You have to get the highest angle possible, like a super floater, just to get the ball over him.
He's pretty fluid with his movement. He has good handles. It translates to defense.
Watch him put him at like the 3, and you just see him fucking like just dribbling at the top, taking the LeBron point roll, just like saucing people.
People forget before Porzingis hurt his knee, he was a great defender.
Yeah, the injuries definitely played into that, unfortunately. And now he's been on both of my favorite teams in the NBA. Drafted by one, now he's on the other. I think they gave him an extension, or talking about giving him an extension. The Wizards are.
I can't find that guy I was talking about, but yeah, I think Wembanyama will probably average like 12 to 15 next year, and like 8 boards. But I think he'll have like 2.5 blocks a game if he plays consistent minutes.
Yeah, maybe get some
which would be like NBA Rookie of the Year easy. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon won Rookie of the Year, and he averaged like 9 points a game.
Well, that was one of the worst draft classes ever.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's not, you're right. That was a convenient example for me to pull from, but
yeah.
So did Michael Carter Williams.
Michael Carter Williams. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Trash.
He had a little bit of a comeback, but there's been some bizarre Rookie of the Years in the NBA. Tyreke Evans.
He was good that year. He averaged 25 and 5.
Yeah.
But then he fizzled out. Let me look up the Rookie of the Years. Now I'm curious. Oh yeah, it was Banchero last year. Oh yeah, Scotty Barnes was good. He's good on the Raptors. LaMelo Ball obviously good, dealing with injuries now. Ja Morant or Warrant, who we're gonna get into next, I guess.
Ja
Luka
Morant.
Doncic, Ben Simmons, Malcolm Brogdon, Karl Anthony Towns, Wiggins, Michael Carter Williams, Lillard, Irving, Griffin. Yeah, I mean most of these players turn out to be good players.
I didn't know Brandon Roy won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Brandon Roy is a beast.
Mhm.
Also knee injuries.
Uh,
Derrick Rose, man, that makes me sad that his career, ow, went the way it did.
yeah, I was watching some Derrick Rose highlights the other day. Actually, he was like athletic, but like I used to always see people go, "Who was more athletic, Derrick Rose or Russell Westbrook?" And I hadn't like watched Derrick Rose prior to the injury play in a while. I was watching his highlights and I was like, "Phew."
I think I would say Derrick Rose. Yeah, his bounce for his size
They,
was just
yeah, I mean, they were both
next
two of the
level.
faster players in the NBA.
It's about
Bounce was ridiculous.
just cutting through a defense and getting to the rim. That was the only goal. Just get to the rim.
Yeah,
The
Derrick
worst
Rose
part
would have
was that
been like an
he had
all-time great if he
finally
stayed healthy.
he had
Freaking
finally
knees,
added
man.
a
His freaking
jumper
knees.
and blew out his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He was shooting those threes consistently. They had those playoff runs, man. I really thought they could take it a couple of those years.
Yeah, they were just going up
Joakim
against the
Noah,
Miami
Luau
Heat.
Deng. Remember Carlos Boozer when he had that horrible spray painted
paint
hair?
What a
Like,
joke!
I'm
like, how
pretty
do
sure
you?
me
I
and
just
Trevor were
don't. I don't
watching
get
that
that.
game live, and we thought like like our TV was like
I think I might have been there for that
glitching,
one.
and then we were
Yeah.
like, they zoomed in, and like you saw it like running.
It was like shining too in the light, like way, like oh god, that was horrible. He was known as a tough ass NBA player too, and he's gonna go around and do that.
That's probably why nobody said anything to him.
Yeah, of course not. You don't want to get punched. The booze man.
His isn't his son like a top like prospect?
I haven't heard anything about it personally, but
I'm
I'm
not
Pretty
gonna
sure
go
sure
off the top
past
of
it.
my head.
Carlos Boozer son.
All right, so back to put Ja
Cameron
hands up.
Boozer.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. Are we going to that now?
That's his new name, Ja Morant. Even though he hasn't really done anything illegal.
Do we want to get into that?
We're already in it.
Yep.
Dip the toes in, just check the walls.
Well. Let's talk about what's going on then. Adam Silver came out and said that they've uncovered more evidence, I guess. Well, let's see here. What's the actual quote?
Footage.
Uncovered a fair amount of additional information, and that they're gonna wait. It must be severe because they said they don't want to take away from the teams and players in the NBA Finals, so they're going to announce it after the finals. So my gut instinct is it's like at least a year suspension, whatever he did, and whatever event it was. Because what could it be? Like, is there like more evidence that he has guns? Like that would be
That's what I'm
weird
saying.
to me.
Is it
There's got
Well,
to be
partying?
some.
he
Maybe
flashed the
got caught
guns
railing a line off a
twice.
stripper.
There was the accusation that he beat up that teenager at his house.
That's what I'm thinking. One of those situations has to have
He
like revealed
apparently
something.
got in a fight with a shoe salesman at a mall, and then he apparently also had another alleged incident with a high school student.
I feel like if there was an assault involved, it would be more. I mean, it wouldn't be up to the NBA to announce it. It would be a news coverage, legal thing. Like if there's actual charges pressed and all that.
Well, I just think the accumulation of events that Adam Silver
Yeah, I
just
mean, his
gonna
character
drop the
in
year long
question.
suspension on him.
But yeah, I mean, because every time
Yeah,
this has happened so far, just say he says the same thing. He's sorry. He's gonna work on his actions. Yada yada yada. Well, your suspension didn't even do anything.
Well, then didn't he say he was going to go to like not rehab, but he was going to go to like I don't know, like he's
therapy or something.
Yeah, he's going to therapy, but I don't know. And then, like, I guess the stripper that was at the club that he flashed the gun at the one time, she was like, "He's just a kid and he made a mistake." And I'm like, "He's 23
23 now, no, 24.
or whatever he's at. He's an adult, also making millions of dollars. Like, you're not a kid anymore.
You're a role model. Kids look up to you. Everything. I mean, there's just when you reach that level of fame, you gotta pull out the Uncle Ben quote. You know, with great power comes great responsibility.
I'll always accept that quote on a show. Yeah,
Legend.
so apparently this is different. This is what I guess Brian Windhorst was reporting on it earlier, but I guess the NBA Players Association is like involved with Adam Silver on this, which apparently is not usual. Like the NBA Players Association isn't usually involved with
So
stuff
yeah,
like this. And then so that coupled with Adam Silver, pretty much he already said that they have a decision, but they're going to wait to decide it. Like it's got to be something like big. Which is weird that he would also come out and say that he has something.
why not just not say
Like
anything?
why not just not say anything? Yeah.
He
So
wants
that's
to tease the
curious, too.
people. He wants to keep the viewers, on their toes.
Are you not entertained?
Pulling a Vince McMahon.
Yeah, Adam Silver, we probably could have brought it to a head now, but we've made the decision that it would be unfair to these players and these teams to announce that the decision is in the middle of the series. Well, you
He's
kind
just
of
kissing
did
ass
that, but
to
talking
the
about it.
yeah. He's kissing ass to the Heat and the Nuggets right now. He's saving face.
So what do you guys think? I said I think it's at least a year.
Yeah, I'd say half a year to a year easily.
Well, the saying goes, you can't fix stupid, but I would slap a year suspension on him and say,
He's already suspended indefinitely right now. Is he going to get released from the Grizzlies?
He did say bye on his Instagram post that one like last week. And he got like a picture of him just with him in his jersey facing the other way, and it just said bye. Everybody was curious if he was more like depressed, but they did a wellness check and he was fine. So
Oh yeah, I forgot yeah. I heard about the wellness check thing.
mm-hmm.
No, then the whole incident where he tried to fight like the Pacers like training staff or something after one of the games.
I don't remember hearing about that one.
I don't know. I just think he's just shown that I don't know. Get him out of the league.
Yeah, I guess we'll revisit this topic once the punishment and what the details are is actually released. It's very interesting because, he's one of the biggest young superstars in the NBA and apparently he's just dumb.
It's been a minute since we've seen a great talent wash themselves out just because they're stupid. So I guess it's that time of
it does happen.
That time of the decade.
Yeah. Where's Ron Artest? Meta World Peace, sorry.
It's actually not Meta World Peace anymore.
Meta. Or World Peace. Isn't it just World Peace now? Or is it
You can catch these hands?
Is it Flaming Dragon?
Yeah, it's Meta Sandy Ford Artest.
He likes sand in his Ford. I mean, I guess if you get your beach tags, it's normal. But
oh, it's his wife's last name, so they just decided to both hyphenate their names. Anyway,
how much money is wasted on just changing his name?
Probably not that much.
It costs a lot of money.
He made enough.
He's a millionaire.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You're white. I get wiping your butt with some of your money, but that's horrible investment. Make up your damn mind.
Hey, it's nothing. World peace is priceless.
World peace is impossible. Anyway,
if you're not Ron Artest, all you got to do is jump in the stands, punch.
He's the most physical NBA player, physical fighter that's ever lived, and he wants to be called World Peace. Yeah, like
you remember that?
Freaking poor JJ Barea.
Wait, was that?
No, he didn't take out JJ Barea. That was Andrew Bynum.
No. Was that when James Harden was on the Rockets or OKC?
I thought OKC
when he did the
James Harden,
back
the
of the head
elbow.
elbow.
Yeah,
the
Ron
elbow.
Artest is on the elbow to Harden, but JJ Barrera's one that got dropped by Andrew Bynum.
Yes.
I thought he also got dropped by Artest too, because he's been dropped twice. There's 2 highlights I
maybe it
swear
was
of him
Artest.
going up in the air and then coming down on his back like.
I'll
He was
respect
only
him
5'10".
When he was on the Rockets and Kobe pushed him, he just turned around and punched Kobe right in the face. R.I.P.
I don't remember seeing that. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you say that because everybody knows what a fierce competitor Kobe was, and people didn't look him in the eye, let alone try to punch him.
Well, not Ron
Didn't JJ
Artest.
Barea win a championship with that Dirk Nowitzki team?
Yeah, with the Mavericks.
With Mavericks against the Heat.
Yep, LeBron. I remember the LeBron era.
Well, I've seen if someone would open their mouth. But
Jeez, you're the moderator here.
Yeah, I was waiting for the next.
We'll have to edit that for the Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I was literally refusing to say something.
I was just trying.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, let's see who can hold this silence longest. But then I was like, this won't be well for the non-YouTube.
Yeah,
well,
would it be well for
moving
YouTube?
on. Moving on from Ja Morant, we might have to trademark that. I don't know.
White noise. White noise.
I get the credit on that, and also
no,
Ja hands.
I came up with Ja Morant.
That's a lie.
Taylor said Ja Morant before we started.
That was me. Dirty sons of bitches! You're lucky we weren't recording yet. I have proof in the puddings.
That's like in the Nike Air movie. You saw it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pete came up with Air Jordan. No, I came up with Air Jordan.
No, I came up with Air Jordan.
All right, well, let's move on from NBA, transition over to NFL. Not a lot going on in the NFL. Teams are starting some training and whatnot. Kind of a little bit of a slow period. But earlier today, story broke that last offseason, Russell Wilson was almost traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, and he shot it down.
Idiot.
Joke's on him, but resident Eagles fan, what do you think? You could have had Russell Wilson leading you to the promised land, and now you're stuck with Jalen Hurts. How's that feel?
Your wording is so off.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some, and we're stuck with Jalen Hurts. What are you going to do?
Cry about it.
Next decade in glory. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles pretty much seem like they've wanted Russell Wilson since they missed out on drafting him 11 years ago or 12 years ago, whatever it was. Because I'm pretty sure that was Andy Reid's last draft, and it was well reported that they wanted Russell Wilson. But the Seahawks jumped us and got him.
Third round, though, still. Way earlier.
And coming all these years later, it's always been a rumor. It feels like that the Eagles were maybe wanting Russell Wilson. And last season, we were talking at pre-show. There was a few options, it seemed like, for the Eagles, which I was okay with. I was unsure because they obviously went with the path of Jalen Hurts, which seems like wasn't totally their choice because according to reports, they had a deal done with the Seahawks, and Russell Wilson said, "No, I'm not going to Philly." But everything works out for the best.
Could you imagine if you guys made that trade and you got to watch Jalen Hurts lead the Broncos to the Super Bowl, and Russell Wilson had the season he had last year for the Broncos for the Eagles?
Well, who's to say that if that did happen, we might not have traded Jalen Hurts, and who's to say Jalen Hurts would have had success in Denver, and maybe Russell Wilson would have been more successful in Philly?
It's hard to
not saying it wasn't on Russell Wilson at all in Denver. Like, obviously it was his play and the coaching a little bit. But I'm sure Russell Wilson would have been a little bit more successful.
The Philadelphia media would have tore him apart. All the crap stories about him doing workouts on the plane and all the other shenanigans he was pulling.
That's probably why he didn't want to come to Philly, because he didn't want to deal with the fans and the media. Well, I mean, we saw what happened to Nick Nurse yesterday. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Nick Nurse got hired as a 76ers coach.
I knew that.
And the Philly reporter was like, do you want to keep James Harden? And he was like, James Harden's a great player. And the reporter's like, you didn't answer my question. And Nurse was like, James Harden, he's got to make that decision. It was so funny.
You didn't answer my question,
He was
buddy.
like, you didn't. He was pretty blunt about it. He's like, you didn't answer my question. Do you want to re-sign James Harden?
Hey, Chief, you didn't answer my question. Throws a Philly cheesesteak at him.
Just a can of Cheese Whiz.
The cheese was burning. But yeah, that probably would have happened to Russell Wilson. I'm just, I'm glad we're in the position we're in.
Eagles country, let's fly.
You know what's interesting about Russell
God.
Wilson? Oh God, that's disgusting.
Eagles country, let's fly.
Oh man, I forgot about that. But did you guys see that? Like, he apparently lost weight from last year. Like, he never looked like he was out of shape, but he looks like he did.
You see the side by side, you're like,
yeah, you see the side by side. He must be on the TB12 diet
or the depression diet. We've all been there.
Unfortunately, I have always been fat, so can't agree with you there.
Little Billy, but chubby wubbies.
Well, anyways, yeah, Russell Wilson decided not to go with the Eagles. Now he's stuck with Denver. And Sean Payton. We'll see how that goes. Can only go up from last year.
You can really you could say that, but
remember the end of that game against the Chiefs? How bad he was.
I don't remember
earlier in the season, week 2, 3.
Didn't help.
They had a chance
going down early.
Denver had a chance. Denver had a chance to win it. It was like a low-scoring game, and he just threw a terrible interception in the red zone to end the game.
I remember throughout last year watching those Broncos games because they gave him so many primetime games without knowing it was going to be just a disaster dumpster fire. And I remember so many times he was just airmailing passes throughout the games.
You both were. I'm pretty sure you both weren't really sold on him.
Not at all.
To Denver, I thought Denver was going to be really good. Yeah,
I remember you were saying you're not going to write him off because he's on a new team yet. It's still Russell Wilson and they had some weapons. I was just like, because it was the first year with Nathaniel Hackett and all that, I just wasn't. I couldn't get down with it. At least year one, and then you saw what happened. Nathaniel Hackett got fired, and they bring Sean Payton out of retirement. Wasn't that official? Was that an official trade? They had the trade for Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
The last 4 years, Russell Wilson's just rubbed me the wrong way.
I never got that impression of him until he got to Denver, and it just all changed. The sub commercial was terrible.
It was really once he married Sierra, that's when it went downhill.
Yeah, it's because Future got in his head.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
When he changed his haircut too, yeah.
Oh, it was the weird videos. Remember when he was in bed with Sierra? What did he say? Something weird. Yeah, everything just seems so scripted with him, and he just seems so
he's walking
phony.
Cringe.
Yeah.
What do you call himself? Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah.
Unlimited.
He needs that first girlfriend to bring him back down to earth.
That literally, dude, I'll never forget that face. And then I remember when Mahomes' girlfriend got thrown on the bus for a similar thing when he got drafted or something.
Well, she's still around.
Yeah. They have a baby now and they're married.
He's got $500 million reason to keep her around.
Yeah, except for
the other way around.
She's sticking around strong, not his brother so much. Oops.
Somebody brought up to Tyreek Hill on a podcast either yesterday or the day before. I saw the highlight of if you had would you rather
be handcuffed
to Jackson Mahomes, or I can't remember what the other one was. It was not score a touchdown. I can't remember what it was, but he picked whatever the other option was. He said, "Hell no."
Not score a touchdown or be
all season or whatever. Well, yeah, it was only get limited to a certain amount. Whatever it was. I can't remember what it could have been. Anything honestly at this point. But either I remember
he was handcuffed to Mahomes. And they're like Jackson Mahomes.
He said Jackson Mahomes. Hell no.
That's hilarious. What a terrible situation.
Yeah. Now
to
isn't he
have
getting?
like to be that good, great of an athlete and quarterback, and like that's your brother.
And your
It
wife.
all started with annoying
It
TikToks and
actually
then
makes
turned
me. It
to
makes me respect.
creeper behavior.
It makes me respect Patrick Mahomes even more. That he's able to
Block it
keep it
out.
together
Still win a Super Bowl. Like his brother was
through all
being
that.
accused of, he forced a kiss onto that
Oh,
restaurant owner in her 40s. I
listen,
saw the video. It was all about
I'm
cringe.
not. I'm not a violent person, but if I was at that Washington game when he was dancing on Sean Taylor's
Oh my
memorial,
god,
I
I
would have
would have.
chucked a beer at him. I would have been like,
Yeah.
"I need the can. Don't put it in the cup. Give me the can." Just, mm.
Keep the cap on. I need distance on this one.
What's
TikTok
the?
should be
Like, sir, we
banned.
can't give it a
I need
TikTok,
a.
can.
I need a beer. What beer, sir? The heaviest one you have.
Well, he will be banned off of all social media if he gets convicted of sexual assault.
Oh, that assault.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know how he won't be. There's video of it.
yeah, ugh.
Yeah, we'll let people watch that if they want to. But
Google it.
yeah, TikTok should be banned off of NFL fields.
I was so excited when I heard
It
TikTok
doesn't turn
might
out
get
good
banned
for
from
anybody.
USA mainly because of Jackson Mahomes and Juju Smith-Schuster. Those are the main reasons why I was like, yes, TikTok is gonna be gone. Like I enjoy watching a TikTok here and there. Don't get me wrong, but those guys soil all the good stuff.
Yep.
Soiled it.
Soiled it.
Yep.
Well, moving on from Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, even though he said it's not a story, I'm saying it is. Tom Brady is looking to become part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. You know, he wants to support his
Tuck rule people.
boy. God, what's the freaking coach's name? McDaniel.
He wants to be his
He wants to go
boss.
hang out with his.
He's like,
He
ha,
wants to go
you
hang
ain't
out
my
with
coach
his
now, I'm your
boy.
boss.
And now there's the rumor is that Jimmy G, because he failed his physical, the Raiders can void his entire contract, make way for part owner, part quarterback Tom Brady to
They would have to
take
pass the
over.
rule though, allowing
But I think they did a survey and they said that
it's
like
like
there was like
95% something.
said that it'd be like they don't care.
Yeah.
So
It would just be ironic since, originally the Oakland Raiders was the that famous game where snow game, Brady goes to put the football
tuck
down, but
rule.
the tuck rule becomes the thing, and then now he's a part owner of the team. Like, he already owned them for that game, that metaphorically, and now he might actually own them. Raiders fans are probably kicking
Full
themselves in the butt.
circle.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah, I was just watching the video of Tom Brady talking about.
Becoming an owner.
No, just saying like he's certain. He says, "I'm certain I'm not playing again." Yada yada yada.
I would hate to have to keep professing this.
Yeah.
Till a video comes out with Giselle and some other man, and then he's back to quarterbacking.
He becomes a middle linebacker to take his anger out. Put me in,
Tom, you
Coach
can't
Brady.
do it.
You ran a
Anything's
4.9
possible.
when you were 21. What do you think you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean the Raiders. What a debacle.
Mm-hmm.
Josh McDaniels suck. Jimmy Garoppolo broken.
I'll tell
Tom
you
Brady
what. If
says no to you.
If Tom Brady does take over at quarterback, Devontae Adams is going to catch 200 passes.
Yeah.
Is Tom Brady even like? I bet you he's not throwing footballs. Like if he's for sure like says he's done, he's probably not playing football at all.
You can't forget it's ingrained into his DNA.
Peyton Manning seems like when he's doing the Monday Night Football Manning broadcast, he looks like he wants to play sometimes.
Well, because he had to retire because of the neck injury, but
yeah,
he wanted to keep playing.
I mean, Tom Brady wasn't that. I mean, Tom Brady like obviously was done getting hit, and it was like he wasn't even like taking. He was bailing out of stuff because he didn't want to get hit. I mean, I can't blame him. He was 40 years old or whatever he is.
46, 45, 46.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll. The Fox stuff seems like it's up in the air whether he's going to do it. Like,
well, he said he's going to take a year.
He's for sure not doing it this year because he says he wants to take a year off.
But then the word was he was still committed to that contract.
Well, if he
57.
ever does get on that in broadcast booth, I'm sure he'll be great at that. So
Wouldn't it be nice if
agree.
someone was like, "Listen, we want you. Take your time. Whenever you want to do it, great. But whenever you decide, here's $100 million. But we're just going to wait on you on your time."
Brady time.
I wish somebody would do that right now. You guys don't have that many subscribers, but you'll get there. Here's $100 million waiting for you.
It's called believing.
We'll have instead of the Manning cast, we'll have the NI
If somebody
cast.
came into the room and said, "Not right now, you get no pennies, but if you get 1,000 subscribers in a year, would you quit your job?"
Yeah.
And they would, if they say, if you get to
dedicate
1,000
my-
subscribers in a year,
If I could
you
dedicate
get
every ounce
you
of
get
my energy,
$100 million.
Yeah, I'd do it for sure.
yeah. If
I
I
would
could
make that
dedicate,
deal.
it's all about time and
You
energy.
had to get
how much time
you
you can
had to
spend
get to
into
1,000
something.
subscribers.
Oh, I'll get to 1,000 subscribers.
Let's start making 1,000 email accounts.
All right, real quick.
If I had to get on the street, I'll get on the street.
This isn't really a sports thing, but I've seen it on a few shows I listen to.
I don't want to hear it.
It's a challenge over a single day, 24 hours, between running miles, drinking beers, and eating donuts. In 24 hours, you have to get to 50.
All right, so I'll run
Say
a
it
mile.
again?
So you take miles ran, donuts ate, beers drank within 24-hour period, and they have to add up to 50. Could you do it?
Miles ran, donuts eaten, beers drank. Could I get to
Yeah.
50 in a
Yeah.
day?
Yeah,
Easy.
24 hours. 50
Yeah.
in a day, 24 hours.
You run as much
Depends
as you
on
can
the donut,
first.
but if I'm assuming I could have like Krispy Kremes and Coors Lights, yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you this.
I think I could do like
I heard,
20 donuts, Krispy Kremes, like 25 Krispy Kremes. The beers would be probably a little hard. I'm a lightweight now. Like the 25, like 10, getting over 10 beers, I'm wasted.
So
Yeah,
I listened to three shows talk about this.
The miles do not count. I give you 1 mile.
I listened to 3 shows talk about this, and they were like, I don't know, maybe. I'm telling you this, in an afternoon, I could do 25 beers and 25 donuts.
Do you have to run?
No, it's miles completed.
So I can
walk. So I would walk and eat donuts
10.
and beer.
Yeah.
Literally,
walk to run
you,
10 miles, and then 20.
In an 8-hour afternoon, I could do 25 beers or 25
I'd even
donuts.
get a 3-hour nap in between.
I would just be super drunk off of 25 beer.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm just saying.
I'm not even saying really drunk. Like I'd be dead after 25 beers now.
There's a chance, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
No, I'd be dead.
If
I drank 10 Coors Lights tonight, I would be hammered.
We'll have to get together one weekend and see if we can do it in a day.
How about donut holes instead of donuts?
No, donuts.
Donut holes are thick. Like, give me that warm Krispy Kreme. That thing goes down the gullet easy.
Oh yeah, a hot Krispy Kreme. I could do 12 in 6 minutes.
Yeah, they just because
I do that every Saturday.
I go to Krispy Kreme after going to Gold's.
Deflates in your mouth. That's a first.
I pick up a dozen Krispy Kreme.
About melt in your mouth.
You know what I meant.
I finish 6 before I even get to my house.
Yeah. God, deflate in your mouth. That sounds like something else. That's a good question though.
I say easy. It's not a challenge.
If I could walk, I could think I could do it. But it would be difficult. I think it's harder than you guys think.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be easy, but I think I could do it.
If it's like Dunkin' Donuts, like donut holes, like I could probably eat a box of 50 of those.
Yeah. I'm willing to do this challenge to show I can complete it.
That's content right there. We could record this.
I will.
They have to be powdered white donuts.
Oh no!
I need milk too. Literally.
While running him, just choking to death on a powdered donut.
Cinnamon donuts. Only the powdered cinnamon on top.
You can wash it down with Coors.
Matter of fact,
Coors milk.
I'll wake up, run 1 mile, get a 24-pack of beer, and then 2 dozen donuts. And
We've already committed. Are we going to promise our viewers that we have that this is going to be?
I'll
content?
do it. I'm not saying it'll be this weekend or next weekend. But
No. We'll do it eventually. We'll record the whole thing.
Listen, I'm going.
You and RJ.
I'm going on vacation in a month. What? I'll do it on my days over on vacation.
RJ will do it. RJ will come down. We'll do it both.
I'm gonna be on vacation right next to. I'm gonna be on vacation right next to RJ.
Someone's got to be recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like 10 minutes.
We set up a goddamn tripod if I need to.
No, because we got to be moving around. Both of you can split it if you want.
That's the challenge.
That's some weak stuff.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
The challenge is between 50 the two of us per person.
But between the two of us, me and RJ could do it in an hour. Between the two of us, probably
25 beers in an hour.
Cut that in half.
12 and a half beers, 12 and a half donuts in an hour.
Yeah, that's true. We'll do this. This is good stuff. Where'd you find this challenge?
Literally 3 shows I listened to. They talked about it.
Oh, now we're stealing content.
It's a challenge. It's a viral challenge.
Whoever did it first, the other two copied them.
We gotta find viral challenges and do them.
Can't they just bring back the milk crate challenge and watch people fall and bust their knees?
Have Trevor do the milk crate challenge.
What's the milk crate challenge? That would be the
hardest fall.
You stack them up
like stairs, like a triangle
stairs. Oh God, no! Yeah. I'll never do that.
And you get to the top,
people broke their bones doing that.
Literally, and you would fall so hard.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm already. Yeah, I fall when I'm walking.
Yeah, so you and Biden have a lot in common, huh?
How dare you?
It just happened yesterday. That's fresh news.
Man down. Yeah, I know. I didn't actually see the video.
Somebody said there was a sandbag on the stage. I'm like, there's people in the way. I can't see nothing. So I don't know where you're talking about sandbag, but
he's like 90 years old. There needs to be no excuse for him falling.
No, he's just old. Did you see? Even they had Trump had a rally or something. They went over to him. He was like, "Damn. Well, I hope he's okay." I mean, because Trump, it's like, you got to take them ramps slowly. It's true. I mean, Trump's old too. He gets it. Your legs just don't move like that anymore. You hit one quick turn, you're going down.
They're both overly seasoned, and just go to the shadows.
I like that, overly seasoned.
Go back to the shadows.
All right, Gollum, worst game ever.
First off, that was Gandalf, you idiot.
No, but you're banishing.
When has Gollum ever cast you back to the shadows?
No, but I'm just saying, Gollum goes in his cave, is back to the darkness.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
It's wet and dark.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mom was right.
Mom was right.
Great movie.
All right, so we're going to lock in this 50 challenge.
Yep, we're going to do it sometime this year, people. We'll get it to you. Sometime this summer, we'll do it.
When I go on vacation in July, I'll do it.
I can't go on vacation at the same time.
You can come over on the weekend.
We'll figure it out.
I'm going Saturday to Saturday to the beach.
We'll figure it out.
Let's go to the beach. Welcome to the beach.
We're recording. You just see Trevor going, "Whoa!"
With my luck, you show up when I'm working. You just showed when I'm working with freaking 2 50 packs of donuts, 3 cases of beer. I'm like, "Ted, we got beer here." They're like, "Sorry, we got to take them away from work." I'm just over here in the corner like, donuts, beer. Especially if it's powdered. Imagine chasing down powdered donuts with beer. That's just not.
Yeah, dry your mouth.
It would just create a clay cement in your throat and you die.
No.
It's paste.
What did he do? He was eating powdered donuts and drinking beer.
Why would he do this?
I was outside in the backyard. It's pretty hot today, and I came inside. I don't usually just grab a beer, but I was so thirsty, and I just opened the fridge, and there's a Michelob just staring at me, and it was so good today. Nice
sometimes it just hits though, especially out of a bottle. It's crisp.
It was a bottle. Yeah, I was so thirsty. Except for when you're in Cancun and somebody hands you Coronas.
A warm Corona on a hot beach day.
Yeah, on a hot beach after you just ran. That is not the recipe for success.
You do have to drink the local beer because the American beer that's shipped over there tastes like butt. So if you had to if you're drinking imported American beer, it's bad. It's real bad. Even though like
we
people
do
like
challenge
anyway.
Anything's bad when it's beer and you're hot and it's hot.
I still drink Corona this day though. I love me some Corona. I'm gonna have one later tonight.
Yeah, I mean if it's cold Corona and you're leisurely laying down, relaxing, yeah. Not when you're running and on the beach and somebody hands you a refresher that's warm beer.
It's the only way we can get that football game going right. Everybody's got to be hopped up on something. Beach football.
Gatorade.
How many picks did you get that game, RJ? Like 6?
6 at least, but they were throwing a mile overthrown and they were right to me every time.
RJ was playing safety 50 yards back and they were throwing punts.
Well, we're playing 15 on 15 with a bunch of randos in a resort in Cancun. I mean, you do what you gotta do.
My one drive I sliced and diced.
We played so good that we legit had people ask if we played football like in college. And
full disclaimer, this was 10 years ago.
Yeah, there's a bunch of random families. Like there's no real athletes on that beach that day.
You think you're some kind of athlete?
Athlete. It's amazing. I know athlete had 3 syllables.
You think you're hot shit because you know words.
It must be steroids and macaroni.
Such a good movie.
They better not ever take it off of Netflix. I'll be pissed.
That would be a good thing for the show to do like a movie quote at the end of each show.
I like it.
We'll have one ready because we're coming up with the ending.
That was it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anything else y'all wanted to add?
Murray will win Finals MVP over Jokic.
You know he was plus 1,400 to be Finals MVP. That's a bet you have to make.
Yeah.
I want to see what the odds are for Jokic to get one more triple-double in the finals. I have to put some money on that.
I would bet on that, especially with the way this game, the series is looking, how it's going to go.
Did you also see my text this morning about, they were like, after the game, I think it was on Bleacher Report, and they were like, look at Jimmy Butler. He's dialed in after the game. What will he do game 2? And I'm like, enough of this.
He sure as hell wasn't smiling this time when he was walking off the court.
Every time they lose, they go, oh, look at Jimmy. He's dialed in now. I'm like, no. Like, I know everyone loves Jimmy Butler.
I do love me some Jimmy Butler.
Did you see that story that he was hitting up that tennis player?
Yeah, Coco Gauff.
She's 19.
Coco. I thought they just met at the tennis thing. He was like guaranteeing a finals appearance. Like,
I don't know. I was
more of like a gesture. That's how I took it. I don't really know details, if I'm being honest.
I was listening to ESPN radio one morning, and they were talking about he was in her DMs or whatever, and I was like, she just turned 19.
Well, you can be in her DMs. It doesn't have to mean something bad.
Oh, I'm just throwing it out there.
Getting in her DMs that sounds,
it's just the way it's worded. Yeah,
it has connotation. DMs has like a dark
DMs.
Listen, I'm trying to spin this anti-Jimmy Butler story, right? Let's let it happen.
I can't give
the man the benefit of the doubt. We don't want to spark a comeback here.
Yeah, no more bulletin board material unless it listens to us anyway. But
what was the quote you were saying from the
playoff Hemi? I actually need to get that.
No. The sweep.
Oh, you better bring your brooms because it's a mess.
There you go. That's your quote to end it.
Yeah, that's a perfect quote to fit with this series so far. So,
all right, that does it for today's show. Right?
I got nothing else.
All right, so this is No Interference. We're your hosts, Westside, Big Sass, and the Bull. As usual, thanks for giving us a listen, giving us a watch. If you enjoyed it, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. You can watch us on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are on social media at the NI Show on Instagram and Twitter. Give us a follow. But like I said, thanks to everyone that takes the time to listen to us, and adios.
See you.
Peace.